Hi, I'm Keaton from The Young Photographer, and today I wanted to talk to you about how when you're bored, your images and your imagination really does come to life. So, as I'm obviously called The Young Photographer, I'm only 15, I'm currently on my school holiday breaks, and I am getting increasingly bored throughout the weeks which have just gone. So I saw online when I was looking through Facebook a style of image which I thought was really cool and really clever, and I knew that it mustn't have been that hard, but it looked as if it had been done in a studio, and obviously at 15 I'm not going to hire that studio. So the images which you'll see after me rambling on, are the images which I took last night, which were really simple to do. All I had was a really cheap flash gun, speedlite, whatever you want to call it, my tripod, which was really cheap, and also my camera, my DSLR camera, with the 18-55 standard kit lens on it. And through using that and correct timings, I managed to get these pretty cool photos. The one which I personally prefer is the second one, which will come up on your screen, which is the one of my dad. Now he works in a quarry, so you get that real sort of raw look effect, and also he's looking straight on the camera, whereas I'm looking at the side, and it does make a bit of a difference as to how it looks. So yeah, I'm going to show you these two images up on the screen now, and then afterwards I'm going to show you how I actually perform that. Okay, so the first thing which you'll need to do is, I'm in my bedroom at the moment. Okay, I've got black curtains. Any curtains, as long as they sort of kind of keep the dark out, will work. So the first thing you need to do is close your curtains, make sure that there's very little light seeping out, and that way you've instantly got a dark room set up. I've got quite light rooms in my bedroom. They're kind of a pale grey and white, so that doesn't help either, but it doesn't make a difference when I took the photos. Okay, so here's the next thing which I'm going to show you of what you need. Okay, so the first thing which I used was a black school top. Yeah, make sure it's black, obviously, otherwise it takes away the effect. Okay, any kind of tape which will stick up onto your wall. Try and use like not mega sticky tape because it will rip your paint off. The next is this really cheap flash gun, which I got off Amazon for about 24 quid. Along with that, it also came with a stand, which was really useful for this type of photography. And then also 2 bits of white paper. This will help to diffuse your light when you're taking the shot. Okay, and the next thing you need to do is create a clearing of the wall. Okay, so on my door here I had coats, I just set them off because it gives me a little bit of extra space of where I am. Next thing, anything like posters. I have loads of posters in my room. Take them down because the last thing you want to do is ruin them. So once you have done that, you need to grab either something black. It could be like some bed sheets or a towel. Anything which is black and fairly lightweight does the job. So here I have my school shirt. All I need to do is unravel it, turn it upside down so we get the nice big long stretch, and place it up against my wall like that. Holding onto it, grab some tape. Tape it up onto your wall. Okay, plenty of tape, you don't want it to fall down halfway through your shoot, because that's what happened yesterday and it kind of annoyed me a little bit. So I would suggest about 4 strips of tape to hold a shirt up, because like I said, you don't want it falling down halfway through. So the reason why I'm showing this is to show you that you can have professional looks on the cheap, and that you don't need great big fancy studios to be able to do something like this. So there is the black wall which I'm going to use. Just stick it back, expand it. So for this, obviously you can only really do one person at a time. You can't have a couple of people within your shop because it doesn't work because it's not big enough. But if you had a big enough sheet or something, I'm sure you possibly got more of a chance of doing that. So that's the first thing done. Black t-shirt up against the wall. So the next thing that you want to do is to grab your flash gun. If not, use a lamp. A lamp will also work. I had to go with my lamp yesterday and it gave a very similar effect, not quite as bright and harsh, but it certainly did the job. So grab your flash gun and then with a stand, with the hot shoe plate, just simply slide it on and then just screw it in, and there you have your stand for your hot shoe. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is point it into the direction of where you're actually shooting. Okay, so don't bother putting your free diffusers, if that's what you want to call it. Okay, to place it up over there. The next thing you want to do is to grab your paper. Okay, grab your paper, grab some more tape. You can vary between as many sheets of paper as you want. Obviously the more paper you have, the more diffused it gets, but also the lot less brighter it gets because it's blocking out that light. So 2 bits of sticky tape again, stick them, I always do mine like that. It doesn't really matter whether you do it portrait or landscape, as long as they're stuck on, they tend to do the job. So stick it on underneath like that, background over, and like that. Okay, there's your free diffuser. You don't need to spend lots of money. Okay, a piece of paper and some tape does the job. And then just quickly make sure as to how bright it is. So I'm just going to give it a quick test shot. And there you'll see how bright it is, whether it's too bright or not bright enough. It varies on how much paper you put on, and also how bright your settings are down at the back. You can have them really powerful, or you can have them nice and light. But you do need the paper on there to make the light expand outwards. Okay, for the purpose of the video, I've kept the 2 sides on view so you can actually see me, so I'm not too zoomed in. So the next step which I did was literally trial and error for the next 20 minutes. It took me literally 20 minutes to get one correct shot. So what I had to do for that was to hold on to my flash gun, put it on, put my finger over the test mode, okay, make sure that was facing the same direction, put it onto my desk over here, and then literally got the autofocus correct again. Once it autofocused, it was literally a matter of getting the timing right, pressing the trigger on my camera, and also the correct timing on my flash gun. So in professional settings you'll have a full-on black backdrop and studio lights and stuff like that. I'm in my bedroom, so all I've got is my one flash gun. And also in studios they have they have a couple of sensor things, one which goes on top of the photographer's camera, and then another sensor thing which goes on the bottom of the flash gun, which sits on the shoe, and that basically sends a signal so that when you press the trigger it goes off at the same time. Now that's really useful for this kind of situation. If I had my self timer remote, I simply have to just look in the same direction, press my self timer, and both things would go off at the same time. Obviously I haven't got that, so it took me about 15 minutes of just literally clicking them both at the same time until I got the correct shot. I probably went through 200 photos before I got the correct photo of what I wanted to use. This is a really fun way to kind of try out creative photography. It's kind of unique, and it's all down to you and as to how much time you want to spend on it. Some people get really annoyed when I got my dad to have a go. He had to do it in the same way, and we must have took about 400 shots to try and get him correct, and out of 400 he only got one. Luckily that was a lucky shot because it was perfect, but yeah, he's got not the greatest of patience on him at times, and he was starting to get annoyed. So if you're not very patient, stick with it or you're not going to be able to do this shot correctly. So I hope that this video helped you have a quick go at something which was relatively cheap to do, gave a really cool look. If you have any questions about how I did it, any suggestions of how to improve it, if you're a professional photographer out there or you've just thought of a better way, please leave a message in the comments box. And also, I'd really be interested to hear if any of you guys have a go at this yourself, if any of you professionals or any of you amateurs and you're doing it in a bedroom like me. Please leave another comment with possibly a photo of your setup and how you've done it, and also the results which you've got. If you want any more help, leave me a message, or you can email me. I'll leave my email in the description below, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.